And that, as he said, is the biggest worry for India, the safety of its own citizens. Around 20,000 Indian students study in Ukraine. Some of them have returned home, but many are still stuck. Many more. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi convened a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security. In attendance were top ministers, including Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Home Minister Amit Shah. You've also learned that the Prime Minister spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin a short while back. Reports say the phone call was sought by the Russian side. Now, in all these meetings and phone calls, India's first priority has been the safety of its citizens. On the 20th of February, the Indian Embassy had issued an advisory. All Indian nationals must return home, students, workers, everyone. If your stay is not essential, you had to return. Just one problem. The tickets were way too expensive, we're told. Normally, a one-way ticket to India is around 20,000 rupees. This week, it shot up to around 70,000 rupees. Not everyone could buy these tickets. And the result was this. Some students returned home. The others chose to stay back and weather the storm. Now the situation has changed. Ukraine is under martial law. The airspace has been closed for civilian flights. One Air India flight had to turn around midway. So the question is, what happens to the stranded Indians? Another flight was scheduled for the 26th of February, plus 4 more until the 6th of March. What happens to those flights? Well, your guess is as good as mine at this point. The Indian Embassy has issued a new advisory today. It's more like a safety instruction manual. Do not leave your home. Always carry your documents and find a bomb shelter nearby. You can imagine what it's like for those students in Kiev, thousands of miles away from home, airstrikes all around them, their friends and colleagues fleeing the city while they remain stuck. Earlier today, we spoke to some Indian students in Ukraine. They've already packed their bags. If the call comes, they're ready to evacuate.
We are just packing up our bags so that if in case we have to leave, so if the evacuation is done by India, so just in case. But right now the airport is seized by the Russian army.
But will that call come? By the looks of it, this war is not ending soon. And if that's the case, these Indian students could be stuck for a long time. Reports say India is looking at alternative evacuation routes, maybe through Poland, maybe through airports to the west. Either way, the situation is not ideal. Some students are unhappy with the embassy's messaging. They say there was no clarity on what to do. Should they have left or not? Listen into another Indian student.
My college, when I tried to contact them, they were like irresponsible, to be honest. Until yesterday, they were telling, you can go home, you have offline classes. And when I called the embassy day before yesterday, they also told, if you want to leave, you can leave. They were not giving me a yes or no answer. They were telling like, you can do as you want to. So that's my biggest sadness now.
In hindsight, there will be questions. Could more flights have been arranged from India? Could the government have subsidized tickets? Could the advisories have come sooner? But the fact is, nobody could predict this. This war is one man's gamble, and such conflicts do not go according to plan. Plus, India has an impressive track record of running evacuation flights. We saw that in Kuwait, in Afghanistan, and also during the pandemic lockdowns. The key now is not to panic, to keep the communication lines open and to follow the safety advisories. If you're watching us from Ukraine, let me say this. The country is rooting for you, and we hope to see you back home soon. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.